guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello, hi, I'm Jyotsna and I make a lot of bookish videos. But in today's video, we are going to be talking about my October 2021 reads. And I've decided to revert back to my old way of doing it. So what I'm going to do is going to be telling you all the books from 3 stars to 5 stars, and the least rated books of the month to the most rated books of the month. And of course, the idea is that I recommend the 4 and the 5-star reads so that you guys can go ahead and look it up accordingly, and all the timestamps are in the description box below. So let's get started with my least rated book of the month, and for me this has to be Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead, which I rated at 3.7 stars. So one of the most common things that you'll see in this video is how there are a lot of Booker books in this particular list, and that's because I was reading a lot of the books of the Booker shortlist in this particular month. So I'm also going to be posting my separate review videos down below. Okay, also new frame alert. Yeah, right. Yeah, I have a new frame, okay, for my glasses now. So that being said, let's talk about The Great Circle. The Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead is a story about Marianne and Julian Graves, right? I think that those, I completely forgot the brother's name. But yeah, right. Marianne and Julian Graves, and they are actually twins. And it talks about their story, and Marianne being one of the most famous female aviators of her time. It's very much inspired by other female aviators that kind of sprung up after World War II, and also it has a lot of stuff with respect to historical fiction and women's rights and things like that. But what I didn't like, of course, was the modern day storyline, because the book keeps switching between the historical fiction part and the modern day Hollywood era when they are trying to make a biopic of Marianne Graves, and I just felt like both of them were very disjointed, and I didn't like Mick's Baxter at all. So that's why this ended up being 3.7. Plus, the point is that the book is super long, right? And they could have just done away with the modern era thing and just stuck to the historical fiction part, and then it would have been a 4, but I didn't like this book much. So that's my least rated book of October 2021 at 3.7 stars. Now let's move on to the books that I rated 4 stars. Okay, so the first book that I rated 4 stars in the month of October was the Booker Prize winning book, that is The Promise by Damon Galgut. Now, of course, as you know, I read this book before the winner was announced, and The Promise was second on my list of predictions. I'm glad it won. And the reason why this is 4 stars and not more than that is simply because of the length of the book. I wanted more from the book. I wanted more from Galgut and his writing. And if you're contemplating whether you should read this book or not read this book, I would say give it a try, because it's not your typical contemporary fiction. It's contemporary fiction with an experiment with the form of the writing. Okay, and that being said, every chapter has a theme to it, and every chapter is dedicated to a character. I do not want to spoil it more, but you can check out my review video down below where I kind of explain why I loved the book and why I didn't like the book as well. But the point being that if you think of reading it, or if you've not read it yet and you want to read it, buy it, go ahead, do it. It's a very nice book and I recommend it for sure. And that being said, the next book that I rated 4 stars is again something that was shortlisted for the Booker, and that's Bewilderment by Richard Powers. Yes, I know, surprising. I like the book. I like Bewilderment. I like Richard Powers. And the point is that if you've never read Richard Powers in your life, then maybe this is the book you should start with. And like I always say, right, Richard Powers writes for the global north, or the ideas that he has in his books are for the global north. And if you are somewhat of an Indian like me, or you are on the Eastern Hemisphere like me, then maybe this book may not appeal to you that much, but then there have been a lot of people in India who loved his work. So I would say try this book out. It's not a bad book. I really like this book. It also has a single vector plot, which I did not find in the overstory. So that being said, not a bad book, but also not a great book. It's a nice book and you should try it out if and only if you want to read Richard Powers. Okay, if you're not interested in nature, if you're not interested in the environment, then skip this book altogether, or skip Richard Powers altogether. Okay, so yeah. So the last book that I rated 4 stars is actually a non-fiction book, and this is kind of like a self-help corporate non-fiction book that I read very quickly, and that's called Attention Management by Maura Thomas. And I generally don't pick up like management or corporate non-fiction very often, but I felt like I needed this because of the fact that one, there was a Kindle sale on and I ended up buying it there, and two, I just felt like it was very, very, very important for me to balance out my life, considering that my work life balance has been hit a lot these days. So, in fact, what is this book about, right? I think this book takes a very good approach with respect to time management and with respect to how can you get things done in a day. And it's not like your usual productivity mambo jumbo. This book had a very nice perspective to offer, because in today's day and age, when you have a lot of social media going on, when you have a lot of distractions with you, including phone notifications, emails, what comes before time management is attention management. The thing is that you have to be able to switch off from your social media, from your phone, from your emails, if you're concentrating on an important task at hand. And the perspective given in the book is very much like mindfulness, and how to kind of make sure that you have a longer attention span. Because one of the things that I have faced is that I tend to look at my phone, or all of us tend to look at our phone even if there's no notification. Like, it's an impulse right off the bat where you just grab your phone and look at it. And the book kind of gives tips and I would say advice on how to avoid that, and how to, more importantly, be mindful and complete a task from start to end without procrastinating. And I liked it. It's not bad. It kind of gives you a new perspective. Generally, I don't have patience for books like these, but I finished this because it had some kind of value addition in my life. So, yeah, that's that. And that being said, let's get to our 5-star read of the month. So, 5-star read. This is it. This is the book you have to read no matter what, and that is A Passage North by Anuk Aruthpragasam. No matter how many times I talk about this book, no matter how many times I feel like, yes, this book, oh my god, I would just again reiterate that it is a book everyone should read. If you are a fan of literary fiction like me, this is the book that you have to read in 2021. It's a shame that this book did not win the Booker Prize 2021, but let me tell you why you should read it. There's also a dedicated video down below which kind of tries to convince you to read this book. But anyway, one, it talks about the Sri Lankan Civil War, and it talks about the aftermath of war and how war affects people and civilians specifically in a very, very bad manner. Two, it is a stream of consciousness book which is not written with any plot in mind, but it has a lot of ideas, a lot of like historical facts that come with the Sri Lankan Civil War, especially the struggle that the Tamilians or the Tamil minority had to face in Sri Lanka during that time. And three, Anuk Aruthpragasam is a beautiful, wonderful author. And if you're looking for a book that will challenge you in some format, which kind of will put you out of your comfort zone when it comes to the writing, this is the book to read, because the book has huge ass long sentences. Okay, so there, I hope I convinced you to read it. I think for me, one of the biggest takeaways from this book was, of course, with respect to the politics and historical aspect of the war, which kind of made me want to read more about the Civil War. And I also have a book back there which is called This Divided Island, which kind of talks about the Civil War and the timeline of the Civil War. But what it also adds is a literary beauty to the entire aspect of war, right? Because war does not help anyone, war does not kind of benefit, and all the more it causes more damage. And that's what I really liked about the book. And also the picturesque writing, the way Sri Lanka is written in the book, the way our protagonist travels the book as well. I really liked it a lot. So yeah, read it for sure if you've not read it yet. Because I'm telling you, this is one of my top 5 reads of 2021. Okay, it's going to be in the top 5 list. I don't know if it'll make it to the top 3 or not. It might be in the top 3, I don't know, but currently for sure it's there in the top 5. Okay, so yeah, that being said, that's it. These are all the books that I read in October. So I think I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. 5 books in October. Not bad. Generally, I aim to read 4 books each and every month. So I crossed that barrier, or I crossed a thing here. Oh, there's a very cute bird on my window perched out right now, but it just flew away. But anyway, before I distract you with any more stuff right now, thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, please do the usual, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, cool. Bye.